Okay, let me make sure I'm online. Okay, hello, I'm Alex from A.P. Inc. So today I'm going to be doing my, um, trying to think of the right word for it. I guess, con my addition to Mermay. Um, so unfortunately I don't have any references for this, but in the past I have done, for Mermay, I've given my mermaids starfish friends, and I thought it would be fun to do just starfish for the month of May. But I'm gonna complicate this because I have a theme. So I also have a list. So I thought it would be fun to try and do this in the style of Olympics. Not just any Olympics though. I'm gonna be basing this on 8th 8th century Olympics. So this is my list. I'm not going to be doing these in order. I'm going to be doing these by what I think I have time for. So the first one I'm going to do is runner, which that's the reference that I'm going to be going with. So you have a reference, I have the same reference. And then for clothes, because this is going to be period themed, I'm going to do togas. We'll see how this works. I just thought this would be fun. So I've got a piece of sketchbook paper, a 2H pencil. Hello, after. So, um, just trying to decide if I want to do this portrait or landscape. I think landscape will give me a bit more room to play with for trying to make it look like he's running. I already said this, I have done this in the past with the starfish. I unfortunately moved all of my old art onto a external saving port, so I can't access that right now. And I'm not sure which sketchbooks I did that in, so I can't easily pull it. And I only thought about trying to find reference a few minutes before I started the stream, and I'm already running late, so I will try to find references for anybody who maybe doesn't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I think it will be interesting. Give this guy a bit more of a like mid-stride look. But I feel like to make this make sense, I will have to do more than just one. I mean, I could try to squeeze another one in here, but I might have to do it separately. Okay, for the toga. See, most people, at least from my experience, when you run, you kind of fist your hands, not whatever these guys are doing. I mean, I suppose some people do this kind of motion. I don't know. It kind of doesn't matter, but I don't know. I was just looking at the reference and trying to figure if that actually made sense for how they're holding their hands. Okay. For toga. To have the fabric gathered on this shoulder or have it on the other shoulder, the kind of invisible shoulder. To kind of go down a rabbit hole and see if there is if they all wore their togas the same way, or if it depended on the person for like what shoulder it went over. I mean, if I do it on the blind shoulder, the back shoulder, and just had the fabric kind of drape off this way. But for the reference, it looks like if the fabric is on this side, the fabric kind of splits. So you'd be able to see the draping fabric on the shoulder and kind of see the split in the fabric. Hello. I don't know, maybe it'll read better if I have the fabric coming over on this side. I guess we'll see. See, this depiction looks like it's just hanging there, but I think, and I didn't think about this when I was looking up this reference, but I think I've seen where the fabric kind of is clipped to itself so it actually stays. Okay, but if he's running, and this is like loose fabric, I think just maybe the fabric would be kind of defying gravity, so to speak. So to have this bit kind of raising up, But also, because the split is on this side, the back of his toga would kind of be flying. See, I don't know, because if you, for as much as I tried to be prepared for this, I obviously didn't go down enough of a rabbit hole. Because if you go by some of the movies, like 300, which I haven't seen, there was another one, I think with Brad Pitt, which I also didn't see, where they actually were wearing like togas or something similar. They didn't really wear togas, but I think those would be more like war movies than like game, like Olympic. So maybe it's not, maybe they wouldn't really be wearing the same thing, like the short skirt kind of thing. This is all made up, so I'm just gonna go with it. This guy is just gonna run in his toga. I don't know, I've been thinking about actually giving him some kind of a belt to help hold the toga together. Okay, I was gonna look up a reference, but I think just to kind of keep things simple, maybe to cinch it up around his waist. just to keep it from completely opening up while he's running. And to try to keep it on theme, to try and make it look like seaweed or seagrass. Or at least tone it that way. Maybe it doesn't make historical sense, but I don't think a lot of this is going to make a lot of historical sense. So maybe don't get lost in the details. Okay. I think this is what I'm going to go with. Okay, I'm going to use a brush pen to do the liner with. I mean, maybe this will get lost, but to actually add detail to the belt, to try to push the whole seagrass for the belt. I've used this brush pen quite a bit. The tip is no longer really pointy or straight anymore, so I can't really get as accurate as I'd like. that, and I can't tell if I'm just being that light or if this pen is starting to dry out. Okay, I'm gonna give that a minute to dry. I'm gonna keep the color on this pretty simple. Thanks. How's your comic book coming? I've been seeing you're posting about it. Cool. I think this pink for the base color and this bright pink to shade it for the skin of the starfish. That's gonna be the other thing. Especially for this guy, or at least for this guy, if it's gonna read as a starfish. I mean, as I get into some of the other ones, maybe it'll be a bit more obvious, but it almost reminds me of those thumb creatures from Spy Kids. Okay, I think for the toga, I'm kind of thinking maybe to use this teal color, if I even still have that, to shade it, and use the, oh, it's not really white paper, it's kind of like off-white as the base color. That's teal. That's darker pink to shade it. Okay, then for the belt. Okay, I just messed my camera up. The only way to fix it is to end the stream and come back. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to do that. I will be right back. Okay. Let's make sure. Okay, I'm back. So I've got um I think that forest green and this deep olive. Let me actually make sure that these are gonna work. Because it looks like the deep olive might be darker. I'm testing for the belt, in case I didn't already say that. I think that's too close. See, this is also forest green. Okay, I think these two. So this forest green for the base color. I was thinking maybe some kind of implied gold tones for the clasp on his shoulder or whatever. But I don't have any yellows. I've got one orange, but it's kind of a dark orange. And then olive green to try to add shadow to the belt. I suppose I could just continue with the green. Okay, that's one. But like I said, I think to make it kind of make sense for the racing, that I would maybe need at least two. So to try to switch up the pose on this second one, I think I have his thigh up a bit too high. I think his thigh is still too high. Try to push that kind of like mid-stride. That this back thigh, back leg should kind of be raised, like pulled up. To actually get the anatomy to make sense. Excuse me. But I think I'm not making the skirt part of his toga quite long enough. And without looking up a reference to see exactly I don't know how you would look up a reference for that. How many people actually like sprint in dresses to see how much the skirt part would kind of bellow out? Okay, I'm going to use the same black brush pen. It is it frozen right now? It did freeze. I stopped and came back. Okay, I'm gonna give that a minute to dry. So I don't want this one to look exactly like the other one. So we're gonna vary the colors a little bit. So maybe I'll make this guy orange. I just want to make sure this, I've got this dark bronze. That might be a bit too dark. Okay, this is going to be a bit more subtle, but I'm going to use red to shade it. And then I think I'll use the same teal and greens on his toga belt and the buckle thing here. More star toga. So orange for the base color of the starfish. I think there are different colored starfishes, like um kind of like brown tone or like sandy tones. I think I've seen like red tones. I think there's, I don't remember what it's called, but I think there's a really small one, or at least I think it's small, maybe about the size of my thumbnail, that's like blue and white, I think. Red to shade it. Okay, I think it was forest green that I used on the for the base color. Yeah. So on the clasp and then on the belt. You can feel the breeze from this run. Excuse me. I wanted to make this guy look like he was really trying to, like, push himself. Yeah. And then blue. I wish I had a better blue than this. I don't know, maybe that works. Like if this were actual white fabric, you could use like a light blue to shade it. This teal just seems kind of jarring. Okay, so we've got this guy who's really pushing himself, and then we've got this guy that is kind of, I don't know, leisurely running. Okay. So I'm gonna mark off runner. Which one? Do you run a lot? Lean back, chest up. Okay. I am gonna leave this one here though, because I think my voice is pretty much done for the day. Thanks, Asakura, for hanging out. Thank you, After, for jumping in the chat. If you'd like to hang out with me for my May uh, mermaid adjacent challenge, please make sure that you're following me and that your notifications are turned on so that you're notified for the next time I go live. But other than that, enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you. Bye.